Personality NLP Case Study for Christina. Since Christina has Pushya rising in Cancer as her ascendant, she likely carries a nurturing yet resilient emotional core. Pushya lends structure and care. There's a soft power in how she moves through the world. While Cancer makes her sensitive and emotionally aware, Pushya ensures that emotion is tempered with responsibility and thoughtful containment. Christina probably feels compelled to offer support, guide others, or hold emotional space, but she's also selective about who she allows close. From an NLP perspective, this ascendant gives her a kinesthetic processing style, closely tied to emotion and intuition, but with a strong internal reference frame. She often checks in with how something feels before acting, rather than relying on external cues. Adding to that, Jupiter is also in the first house, also in Pushya, amplifying Christina's principled and ethical core. She likely comes across as generous, wise, or quietly moral, someone who holds herself to higher ideals. Jupiter here adds warmth and charisma, and may even make her naturally inclined toward mentoring, teaching, or inspiring others. Her sense of humor is likely thoughtful rather than loud, and her confidence probably grows from life experience and inner alignment. NLP-wise, Jupiter aligns with auditory-digital processing and a big-picture chunking style. She likely seeks out overarching meanings, long-term patterns, and thoughtful strategies over rapid reactions or fine details. Christina may also lean towards motivation style, especially in leadership or growth-oriented environments, driven by a desire to improve both herself and the world around her. In the third house, the moon is placed in Uttara Phalguni, shaping her deliberate actions, communication, and intellectual engagement. The moon here suggests that Christina processes information through a blend of emotion and logic. She likely has a strong emotional memory and may find that her motivation is heavily tied to how something affects her emotionally or aligns with her values. Uttara Phalguni brings a refined, service-oriented flavor. She's probably diplomatic, emotionally responsive, and strives for balance in how she relates and expresses herself. Her communication might come across as nurturing, but principled. She says what she means, but with warmth. From an NLP lens, the moon gives her a reactive, kinesthetic, emotional orientation. Christina may take time to respond, preferring to feel things through before taking action. She's likely sensitive to tone and intention in communication, and may dislike overly rushed or impersonal exchanges. Her chunk size here is mixed. She can absorb big ideas, but may often focus on specific emotional impressions. This is someone who needs to feel right about a situation before engaging fully, especially when it comes to writing, speaking, or connecting with others intellectually. In the fourth house, Christina has a powerful cluster of Venus, Mercury, and Saturn, a combination that deeply influences her emotional life, inner security, connection to home, and her sense of support and stability. With such a strong presence in this house, Christina's private world likely carries a quiet intensity. She may come across as calm and composed outwardly, but her inner emotional structure is layered, thoughtful, and well-defended. Venus in Vishaka adds grace and emotional intelligence. Christina probably values harmony and balance in her home and emotional relationships. There's likely a deep yearning for beauty, closeness, and a sense of loyalty in her personal life. Vishaka brings ambition and devotion. She likely pours herself into relationships she believes in and expects the same in return. NLP-wise, this Venus suggests a towards orientation, driven by emotional closeness, refinement, and shared values. She's likely proximity-focused. She builds bonds through steady, graceful emotional interaction and prefers environments that are aesthetically or emotionally comforting. Mercury in Swati, also in the fourth, adds a highly perceptive, mentally agile layer to her emotional self. Swati gives independence and mental movement. Christina likely processes emotions through thinking, often talking herself through what she feels before expressing it. She may value mental clarity at home or in close relationships and could find too much emotional messiness difficult to manage. In NLP terms, this Mercury reflects a strong auditory filter, possibly combined with dissociation. She can detach mentally to analyze what she's feeling, especially when emotions run high. Her internal dialogue may be sharp, reflective, and oriented towards solutions or understanding. She likely thinks through emotional complexity with precision, even when others expect reaction. Saturn in Vishaka, also placed here, brings a sober and disciplined undercurrent to her emotional landscape. This placement suggests that Christina likely had to develop emotional resilience early in life. She may have learned to self-soothe, self-regulate, and depend on structure for emotional safety. Her emotional responses may be restrained or slowed, not due to detachment, but because she values control and clarity. In NLP, Saturn aligns with auditory-digital and matching patterns. She prefers what's familiar, proven, and internally consistent when it comes to emotional environments. Saturn also contributes to a reactive orientation. She's less likely to jump into emotional expression without first weighing its necessity or consequence. Altogether, this fourth house cluster gives Christina a deeply intelligent emotional core. She likely seeks comfort through order, loyalty, emotional truth, and intellectual connection. She may come across as reserved at times, but under that surface lies a beautifully structured emotional world, one that values honesty, steadiness, and meaning in every connection. In the fifth house, Christina has the sun placed in Anuradha, which deeply shapes her creative intelligence, memory, and how she expresses her thoughts, ideas, and affections. The sun here gives her a serious but quietly radiant presence when it comes to learning and creative output. Anuradha adds emotional maturity, loyalty, and the drive to connect ideas with deeper meaning. Christina likely treats knowledge as sacred, not just something to collect but something to live by. She might come across as a thoughtful thinker, someone who brings gravity and heart to what she shares, teaches, or creates. NLP-wise, this sun placement supports a general chunking style. Christina may prefer to understand the why of things before focusing on the how. She likely processes learning and creative insight through a blend of auditory-digital and kinesthetic cues. Ideas have to make sense and feel right to be expressed with confidence. With the sun here, she likely has strong internal motivation when it comes to her intellect. She doesn't need to be pushed. She naturally leans into knowledge and personal growth. She also likely values authenticity and may be less inclined towards surface-level expressions of talent or affection. In the sixth house, Rahu is placed in Mula, influencing Christina's relationship to work, discipline, self-improvement, and how she handles obstacles or conflict. Mula brings a deep, investigative energy. Christina probably feels a strong urge to get to the root of any problem, especially when it comes to personal development or fixing inefficiencies in her routines. Rahu here makes her intensely focused, even obsessive at times, about doing things differently or mastering her own systems of improvement. She likely has an unconventional or innovative approach to health, wellness, or daily organization, and may thrive when she's free to set her own rules or reinvent systems that don't work for her. From an NLP perspective, Rahu brings in a towards motivation. Christina is likely driven by what she wants to become, the state she wants to reach, or the kind of effectiveness she envisions. Her processing filter here is highly specific. She probably zooms in on details, systems, patterns of error or friction. She might be especially good at noticing what's out of place and figuring out why. Her learning and work style is likely solo, self-paced, and results-driven, and she might prefer a certain degree of autonomy to stay focused and energized. In the seventh house, Mars is placed in Dhanishta, influencing her experience of partnerships, romantic dynamics, and close one-on-one cooperation. This Mars suggests that Christina values strength, clarity, and directness in relationships. Dhanishta adds rhythm, charisma, and a need for alignment. She likely wants a partner who can match her tempo emotionally, intellectually, and energetically. Mars here gives her initiative in relationships. She may take the lead when needed and won't hesitate to set boundaries or assert her needs. NLP-wise, Mars brings a proactive action style, especially in relational dynamics. Christina likely acts on instinct when something matters, especially if it's about fairness, clarity, or mutual responsibility. Her sensory filter is likely kinesthetic, with a clear bodily or energetic awareness of when a relationship feels right or wrong. She's probably attuned to emotional rhythm and is quick to notice imbalances. While Dhanishta makes her socially agile and even magnetic, Mars ensures she doesn't compromise on her standards. She may be affectionate and open, but only when respect and coherence are present. Together, these houses reveal Christina as intellectually anchored, emotionally discerning, driven by integrity, and keenly aware of rhythm, whether in learning, healing, or love. She thrives when her environments allow for clarity, depth, and inner alignment. In the 12th house, Christina has Ketu placed in Ardra, shaping her inner world, subconscious patterns, and spiritual inclinations. This placement gives her a mind that is both deeply curious and naturally detached. Ardra's influence adds an investigative, restless energy. Christina likely experiences her inner life as full of insight, but also intensity. There may be moments when her thoughts spiral or take her into deeply reflective, even stormy emotional territory. Yet, with Ketu here, she doesn't cling. There's a natural capacity to observe, let go, and move on when she recognizes deeper truths. This also speaks to a hidden side of her personality, one that thrives on psychological clarity, solitude, and unraveling deeper layers of meaning. Christina may often need time away from others to process her experiences. Her spiritual leanings are likely non-traditional. She's less interested in outward rituals and more drawn to direct experience, intuitive understanding, and uncovering inner structure. From an NLP point of view, Ketu here points to dissociation and a solo working preference. She likely recharges best when alone and often needs space to think, feel, and reconnect with her own center. Her processing style is general, focused on patterns, energies, and intuitive insights rather than immediate detail. This inner world may be hard to explain to others, but it's what gives her emotional depth and spiritual self-sufficiency. Overall, NLP conclusion: Christina's chart shows a deeply layered, emotionally intelligent individual who balances care and precision with inner strength and subtle wisdom. She processes life through a combination of kinesthetic sensitivity and auditory-digital structure. She both feels deeply and thinks clearly. Her internal frame of reference is strong, meaning she often knows what's right for her without needing validation. She prefers to act based on what feels aligned and makes sense internally, rather than being led by external trends or noise. Her motivation style is largely towards-oriented, especially in learning, service, and relationships. She moves forward based on vision, improvement, and emotional harmony. At the same time, Ketu and Saturn bring moments of away from reflection, where she distances herself from what feels false, noisy, or emotionally dissonant. Christina's chunk size alternates. She sees big patterns clearly, Sun, Jupiter, Ketu, but also focuses precisely when she's emotionally invested, Moon, Mercury. She has a natural, matching filter, preferring rhythm, order, and internal coherence, and functions best when systems and people feel stable and emotionally congruent. Altogether, Christina comes across as thoughtful, clear-minded, emotionally self-aware, and deeply principled. Someone who builds her life and relationships from the inside out, valuing substance, insight, and emotional truth above all.